Hey everyone, I'm Jen Briggs, and this is the Minneapolis Edit, your weekly roundup of what's happening around the Twin Cities, the culture, the coffee, the housing market, and all the fun in between. Today we're covering a little friendly rival, Minneapolis versus St. Paul, and how the real estate market is finally finding its balance, my favorite coffee shops to work from, and what's happening around the Twin Cities. So grab your latte or your glass of wine or your tea, whatever, and let's dive in. All right, so first is the Great Twin Cities Showdown, Minneapolis versus St. Paul. It is a debate as old as the cities themselves. Which twin is better? Is it Minneapolis or is it St. Paul? Now, they share a river and a reputation, but if you've lived here for more than a week, you know they couldn't be more different. A little history first. So St. Paul came first. It's officially founded in 1854, a river town built on trade and steamboats, eventually crowned our state capital. Interesting little fact, its original name was Pig's Eye, after a one-eyed tavern owner. So yeah, thank goodness for the rebrand. Then came Minneapolis, a blend of Dakota and Greek. I'm going to get this wrong, but Minnie, M-I-N-N-E, it means for water, and polis for city. So literally the city of water. Now fast forward 170 years and the vibe split holds. So Minneapolis is sort of modern, edgy, creative. There's glass towers, rooftop bars, bike lanes, and St. Paul is sort of that classic, neighborly, rooted in history, brick buildings, cathedral spires, Victorian homes and porches. And I would say that maybe this is not going to sound like a compliment, but I call it kind of sleepy St. Paul, but to me it's like this cozy energy, right? So Minneapolis gives you the chain of lakes, the Guthrie Theater. St. Paul gives you Summit Avenue and the Winter Carnival. They're like siblings who share a last name but dress completely differently, and somehow they both pull it off. So no winner here, just two personalities sharing one metro. I want to know, which one are you, the modern maker or the old storyteller? So drop your vote in the comments. You tell me, is it Minneapolis or St. Paul? Which one's better? Next up, the Twin Cities housing market. There's finally, I would say, some sort of balance. So if you've been holding your breath and waiting for the housing market to make sense again, this might be the moment you get to exhale at least a little bit. After a stretch of record highs and rate spikes and buyer fatigue, the Twin Cities market is easing into something we haven't seen in a while, which I'm going to reluctantly call balance. According to the latest data from Minneapolis Association of Realtors, the home sales across the metro are up 6.1% year over year, marking the second straight month of growth. The median sales price is $390,000, which is up 2.6%. Average days on market is actually down from 49 to 44 days. Mortgage rates might be one of the bigger stories. They're now hovering around 6.5% per bankrate.com. That's the lowest in nearly a year. And around here, we've seen them even as low as 5.9, but I'm still seeing that many buyers are a little hesitant. From first-time home buyers to luxury clients, I'm seeing a lot of people that are sort of waiting for the bottom, or maybe there's just a lack of certainty in the economy. But some of the best homes I've seen this year, they're beautifully kept, they're priced right, they're sitting longer than they would have, maybe longer than expected, and that really does mean opportunity. So prices in some of these segments are softening, and sellers are becoming more flexible. For the first time in a while, it's just not theoretically a good time to buy, it's practically becoming a good time to buy in a very practical sense. Sellers are catching on to that too. So homes in the sweet spot between $350,000 and $500,000 are still moving pretty fast if they're priced accurately. It's really about positioning. How are we positioned against our competition right now with where we're priced and how we're showing what the client's goals are? So inventory is creeping up though. New listings are up nearly 5% month over month, and supply is around 2.5 months. 4 to 6 months is balanced. We're not necessarily there yet, and historically we might be hitting a new norm of 3 months being the new balance. If you're keeping your eyes on it, nationally speaking, Fed Chair Jerome Powell says the goal is a soft landing, steady growth without shockwaves. So we're trying to create some stability here. In bank rates, Greg McBride adds that we're finally entering a stage where rate movements are smaller and more predictable, which is exactly what gives buyer more confidence. So if you've been waiting for a sign, this is not, a rush in moment, but we're in a steady, healthy space where you could step forward again into the market. If you're looking to buy, I genuinely mean now could be a good time. Like, buying a house is always a good time, kind of like when is a good time to plant a tree. but right now there are some really great opportunities sitting on the market for you. All right, we are moving into something that is a little fun, my top 5 coffee shops to work from. So not all coffee shops are created equal, and some coffee shops are great for different things, but when I like to work at a coffee shop, I want to know that I can sit, that it's a good environment, that I'm not going to feel rushed out of there. So here are my top 5. Number 1 is Backstory Coffee in the North Loop. It's got tall ceilings, exposed brick, cozy seating, plenty of room to hunker down for a full day, and it's just aesthetically beautiful. Number 2 is Jones Coffee in Linden Hills. Now, I'm going to be the first to say, they could probably do some aesthetic updating, but there's big tables for co-working. It's nice and quiet, but not like library quiet. It's close to Lake Harriet, and it's dog friendly, so I will often walk my dog Minnie around the lake, go over to the coffee shop after she's all tired out, give her a dog treat, and sit and hang out, and then feel like there's space to spread out and stay, again, without getting rushed out of there. Number 3. Spy House in Northeast. There's a bunch of these locations. It's a little buzzier. It's in the arts kind of district area. It's got that feel. It's got some of the best lattes in town. When I like to go somewhere, actually, ironically, and do head down work, I like buzz happening around me because it gives me good vibes. That's the place I go. Number 4 is a really classy kind of, I'm going to call it classy, yeah, Silver Fern Cafe and Wine Bar in Northeast. Again, it brings a bit of this New Zealand, Australian cafe culture to Minneapolis with craft espresso, scratch-made food, and a wine list that can take you seamlessly from emails into the evening with a glass of Pinot. There's, again, plenty of space to work without feeling rushed. And for those of you that are gluten-free like me, they offer vegan and gluten-free options. That's nice. Number 5, last but not least, is Fragment Coffee in North Loop. It's bright, modern, calming. It's got a fireplace in the middle that's perfect for winter work sessions. These are all some of my faves. I would love to hear what are your favorite coffee shops for a good laptop day. Drop it in the comments. Let me know what you think. I would love to highlight some of these places. All right. Now let's go on to this weekend in the Twin Cities. There is so much happening this weekend in the Twin Cities. Here's what I think might be fun to check out. 50th and France in Edina has 2 activities right next to each other that I think could be pretty fun to check out. They're playing Rocky Horror Picture Show at the Edina Theatre right off of 50th. It's a Halloween classic. It's a crowd favorite. Costumes are encouraged. Callbacks required. It's the kind of chaotic fun that makes you wonder, like, why did I not do this every year? Maybe, hopefully you'd feel that way. So when you're done with that, you can just hop across the street. There's a 30-plus Halloween dance party at Pajarito on 50th and France. So when the movie's done, you just walk over. DJ Bootsy Ballins and Miss Lakeisha will be spinning from 7 to 11 p.m. There is no cover. I expect there to be a great crowd, some grown-up vibes, and I think it's the perfect sequel to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That could be a really fun night. The third thing that I thought was fun and a little different is the Twin Cities Vintage Crawl across various locations. If you're into treasure hunting, this is like your Super Bowl. There's vintage shops across Minneapolis and St. Paul. They're offering special discounts, drinks, pop-ups. You can find them on Instagram at Twin Cities Vintage Crawl for their map and for their schedule, and I can put the link below in the notes. So there you go. I hope there's some Halloween fun for you, some great reasons to get out, some things to check out. That is it for this week's edition of the Minneapolis Edit. If you enjoyed this, please hit subscribe. We do this every week, local stories, market updates, reason to love the Twin Cities a little more. And hey, if you're thinking about buying or selling, my team, Perfect Match Properties, would love to help. Email me anytime at youtube@perfectmatch.properties. Thanks for watching, and as always, let's fall in love with the city all over again, shall we?